Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to round 15 of our F1 Championship Edition career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Temple of Speed for the Italian GP. If you missed out on the video last week from Turkey, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. It's safe to say things are still very interesting in the World Championship table. Michael Schumacher has a 7-point lead over Fernando Alonso with just 4 races to go, so it is all still to play for between our top 2 there. Felipe Massa still ahead of Giancarlo Fisichella. We are still waiting for our first points of the campaign. They're down in 21st overall, but really I'm kind of putting all my eggs now in Shanghai next time out, so we've got to keep our fingers crossed. We've still got to try and finish races well towards the end of the year, try to earn a drive with a bigger and better team ready for next season. Get yourselves subscribed as well. We are getting very close to 6,000 subs here on the channel as well. I'd like to try and get past 10k this year if we can do as well on this F1 channel. But yeah, without further ado then, let's head out to Monza, where hopefully our underpowered Midland will have some straight line speed.
Welcome to Monza for this afternoon's qualifying session. An hour of high-speed exhilaration and excitement starts here. Session 1 is about to get underway, so let's see who makes the grade and who doesn't.
Well, I think honestly this weekend, a little bit like Istanbul, if we absolutely nail the qualifying run, we might just sneak into Q2. But ultimately, yeah, this venue is probably the worst on the entire game of a kind of Midland and Super Aguri to try and be competitive. Of course, it's all, it's Monza. At the end of the day, it's all just straight line speed. It's all about the power, which neither of our cars really have. The Midland should be a little bit better than the Super Aguri, though. It does usually seem to be a little bit quicker, especially in a straight line. The other thing that always annoys me, though, is the fact that in free practice, you seem to be pretty quick in a straight. This Midland doesn't seem to be too bad now I've moved into qualifying. But the real thing here is the AI. Once you get into the race, the AI around here just go feral. They will dive bomb you anywhere and everywhere they possibly can. And that's normally when we get involved in an accident. Anyway, moving out then on to our first qualifying run. Trying to get a faint slipstream off of the Super Aguri just in front of me there. Not quite sure we are, but still approaching 200 miles an hour in towards that first corner on the anchors at the 100-meter board. Where these cars are so light, you can brake so much later into the turns. Well, I'm not sure whether this is Ide or I can't remember who the other Super Aguri driver is right now. Ide and Sato, isn't it, still in 2006? But either way, one of them is definitely starting to hold us up just a little bit. We will try and enjoy the slipstream, though, down in towards the Ascari chicane there, but having to brake just a little bit early because you never quite know what that other car is going to do. Safe to say this lap so far, though, has felt fairly hooked up. No kind of errors or anything like that, as we will try and get some big speed then down in towards the final corner. That worked out rather nicely. We'll brake just past the Bridgestone signs on either side of the circuit there. Get right up towards the grass on the exit of that final turn. But ultimately, yeah, I think unless we get another lap with some slipstream, probably not going to be able to beat this time there. A second and a half quicker than I managed in practice. Yeah, I don't think we'll go quicker. Well, there we go then. We were only 2.9 seconds clear of our teammate Thiago Monteiro. Admittedly, yeah, we did get very lucky, though, with that toe in towards turn 1. If we could get it again, it reckons we could make Q3, however, so I guess that's kind of the goal now. Right, well, anyway then, back out onto the circuit, ready for Q2. Like I said, but we're going to need a miracle here. If we want to make Q3, we need to just get the perfect slipstream off of someone around this lap there, as one of the McLarens makes their way out in the pit lane. I'll actually just be between their 2 cars, ready to start my second run. But I mean, listen to that as you cycle down the gears. Really putting a lot of stress on that gearbox as well. But yeah, I think it's Montoya that we went past. Raikkonen still a few seconds up the road. But of course, this game's weird. You can get a slipstream off of the car behind you. So maybe, whichever one of them it is, can help us out. Oh, a little bit ragged through the second chicane. That's not the ideal line. There you go, then that McLaren now is right up my trumpet here. We're just trying to kind of make sure that they don't dive bomb me into the corners. Oh, they tried to have a look for it. I would guess that's Montoya based on how aggressive that approach was. But yeah, this first lap, though, going to be a little bit of a write-off for us. Might just be able to get a faint slip. It seems so stupid to say, but you genuinely get a slipstream off the car behind you inside this game. So, yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. I can only assume the way they were coded was that they kind of got like a bubble around them that you get slipstream within. But a 25-0 there, that's not something to write home about. Not even convinced that time would have seen us into Q2. And I broke too late into 1. Oh, just so I keep it between the white lines, so we'll keep going. Well, I think this time around then we're going to try and let the McLaren go down this back straight, if they're actually going to go for it. Nope, they'd rather just sit behind me, which is rather annoying. Will we get dive bombed again? Yes, we will, and a bit of contact that time round at the rear of the car there, and through the gravel we'll go. And I think, yeah, this lap is going to be a complete write-off. We have still got one more lap's worth of fuel. So, I mean, that McLaren's making my life difficult, so I'm going to do the same to them. Schumacher now up to the top of the board on a 1:21.8. But yeah, we are, I'm pretty certain, slowest of anybody up to now. We know there's a good 6 or 7 tenths, though, through Sector 2. So we can definitely try and get a good time here as a 26.4 that time round. 1.4 seconds slower than what I previously achieved. Will we get dive bombed again? Yes, we will. Come on, then. Kimmy, just get on with it. If you're going to go past me. Why do they do that every single time? Come on, then. This has got to be our last-ditch attempt here in Q2. You can see we've definitely got splits for like a low 24, so we could definitely be competitive if we could nail it there. Nice and tidy through the first chicane. Our first sector time is actually very, very good. It's sector 2 that we lose a lot. There's Villeneuve now. That's exactly the same time I set in Q1, and that's left him right on the cusp of the drop zone here. Again, on the brakes at the 100-meter board into that second chicane. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit, but again, we are up just ever so slightly. It's this first Lesmo I really struggle with, trying to get the front end rotated through. They just feel... I think where they're completely flat, you can't really carry the speed through them. And that's just something I'm not really used to in any Formula 1 game either there. But making our way then down in towards Ascari, this is the big one for us. Oh, a little bit wide on the way in, but we'll try and gather it up on the way out then. Nice and tidy over the curbing. Another 3 tenths up there, so yeah, this hopefully is going to be an improvement, but I don't think it's going to be enough to see us into Q3. Braking just after the Bridgestone sign. Oh, come on, nice and easy. Oh, just carry the wheel on the grass on the exit. And that loses a little bit of speed right the way on the run up towards the start-finish line. We got one of the Renaults right up my trumpet as well. 24-0. We miss out by less than a tenth of a second. Oh, what's going on here? Why are there so many cars just in the way? No! Of course. They were in a line. Oh my, I've accidentally put Felipe Massa's on top of us, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite scary. They were literally in a line and then suddenly decide they were all going to flail out right at the end of the run. But we will end up P12 then at the end of qualifying. That's better than I thought we'd do. But yeah, even if we'd beat Villeneuve, we would have needed another half a second, which I was never going to find.
We're here at Monza for the Italian round of the Formula 1 World Championship. Monza is one of the classic circuits, and it's also the quickest on the Formula 1 calendar. That means we'll see the cars reaching top speeds of around 230 miles per hour over the course of this Italian Grand Prix. Thousands of Italian race fans are here in force today to witness what promises to be another high-octane dose of F1 action. It's a clear day here at the moment, good visibility for the drivers. It's pole for Juan Pablo Montoya. Next to him in second is Fernando Alonso. Felipe Massa is in third. Fourth is Rubens Barrichello. In fifth place is Jenson Button. Giancarlo Fisichella is next to him in sixth. Michael Schumacher lines up in seventh. Jarno Trulli occupies eighth on the grid.
Well, Juan Pablo Montoya then lines up on pole here at the Temple of Speed. Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher. Well, Fernando's still on the front row. Michael Schumacher down in P7. He has got his work cut out today in his Ferrari car, but he knows the crowd will be cheering him on. The team reckon we can score points here. I'm not so sure of that. I think we need a whole lot of things to go our way. But yeah, we're right in the thick of it as well. If there's chaos, which there normally is at either turn 1 or just on lap 1 generally here, I'm not expecting this to go well. Right, come on then. Italian Grand Prix. This is one of the scariest ones on the entire calendar. Team wishing us good luck there in the background. But yeah, as we wait then for the rest of the field to line up on the grid, I think everybody in front of us' tyres are not going to be particularly warm on the run in towards turn 1. There's some big gaps behind there as well. Cars really trying to be slow on this formation lap there. Maybe trying to screw over other drivers. But come on then. We just want to survive lap 1. That is the first goal.
Here we go.
Good start there. We'll try and get past a few people. We're going to get past loads of cars into turn 1.
As does Alonso.
Well, I wasn't expected to overtake Michael Schumacher into turn 1 here, but let's see what happens into T1.
Alonso leads out of the first corner. He's followed by Montoya. Next is Massa.
Well, that was pretty good going then. Straight up into P7 off the start of the GP, but like I said, I expect us to be vulnerable from a lot of other cars early on here. I remember one season around this venue, I almost got decapitated on the opening lap because the McLarens, I think, had a crash together there as Michael Schumacher a little bit all over the road trying to find a way back around us. It's not the first time we've been ahead of the Ferrari man this year, and hopefully it won't be the last either. But I mean, he's looking for moves everywhere there as Fisichella all over the road as well, and maybe even off it in a couple of places. Is Michael Schumacher going to try and get the run on me then? Down in towards the Ascari chicane. He's definitely got more straight line speed. Just can't really use it on this opening lap. But yeah, I think Montoya is held on at the front of the order. That'll immediately let Michael back by.
You should have optimum grid levels now.
Bit of a hop, skip and a jump through the gravel, but luckily we'll get away with it. As yeah, we've just got to be really careful in the mirrors as well. Because like I said, other cars, they basically every single corner here. The AI will try and dive bomb you if they can, but I believe then Alonso actually leads the way at the end of lap 1. Very tight though at the front of the order. As look at the speed we've got now all of a sudden up against Michael Schumacher. Why brake early, bro? I think we've got away with that. I think somehow we got away with that. A little bit of damage.
Montoya is first. Massa is second. Alonso third. He slid down from second. Button is fourth. He's up from fifth. Fisichella fifth.
That's the fastest you've been through Sector 1 in this session.
No idea why we're not getting any more of the grid rundown, but yeah, we know it's Barrichello in 6th, Schumacher 7th, myself in 8th there. Little bit of end plate damage though, but we've now got a tiny bit of breathing room. No, we don't. I'm trying to get dive bombed by Raikkonen. I hadn't even spotted him on my mini-map. Oh, we got oil down. We got oil down somewhere. I think that might be a car behind us though, blowing up. Just saw that flash up temporarily, as I think we've already lost to Toro Rosso from this Grand Prix as well then, but Schumacher trying to make a move on his old teammate Rubens Barrichello. But we're holding on from Kimi behind. I've got no idea where that oil is through the first couple of corners. There it is. Of course, I try and go off the line and I still hit it. I've got more oil down again then in towards the final corner, so I think that was Toyota of Jarno Trulli that's gone up in smoke. Because yeah, we've got two cars now down in the pit lane. Nick Heidfeld is looking very racy in that Sauber car as well, as he and Raikkonen still battling behind me. I'm just trying to hold these guys off for as long as I can. As we make the run back into turn 1, you can just hear them getting louder and louder behind. Hopefully they won't get close enough to try and dive bomb me. Oh, Heidfeld tried it. Luckily won't get away with it. Oh, Heidfeld now trying to get a run on me down in towards the final couple of corners. You just see there, he tries to get the speed. And look how much quicker that BMW Sauber is. Oh, no!
Accident over at Parabolica. It's Heidfeld! Retirement was the last thing he needed. But unfortunately, that's the case. You've got involved in that scrape as well. Your front wing is flailing about wildly. It doesn't look like you've done any damage to your suspension, so you should be able to continue racing after you've pitted to get that changed.
That's the second weekend in a row then that I've gone and absolutely blown up another car here, so not a particularly great track record at the moment, but we'll try and still get a good pit stop Obviously, we should be able to still go to the end, but yeah, those front tyres will not be happy by the end of the afternoon. There we go. 16.3 seconds, though. At least we're in clear air, I guess. But yeah, I'm probably going to get a race ban soon, the way we've been driving recently. Arto, Ide on Montero, they're the three cars then that we're trying to chase in this GP. I'd hope that Monza in the start of September, it's not going to rain this weekend. Doesn't look like it's meant to either, because of course we're going to be going to the end of the GP now. The gap to Sato, 20 seconds. I'll be honest, I don't think we would have had the pace anyway, so I'm just happy to be out in clear air. Well, we're starting to see a few cars into the pit lane then. One of the first to blink is going to be Michael Schumacher in this GP, and as we say that, Felipe Massa now has taken the lead of the race, so I mean, I'm sure that Ferrari, they'll want to see Michael win, of course, but I'm sure they'll be happy to see Felipe now up in P1. As who's that? Mark Webber has come out of the pit lane then, still ahead of me, so that's a bit of a shame. But we are back ahead of Ide. Someone's gone off in that first sector or second sector. No idea who it is, though. Can't see a car stopped on the race circuit, so that's very confusing. Oh, it's Ide. Ide behind us has gone then at the Grand Prix. As we will now get ahead of Thiago Montero. Looks like we might have some pace, though. We're going quicker than Mark Webber at the moment. Oh, I think Alonso's gone. Fernando Alonso is out of the Grand Prix. That's what it was, sorry. Oh, that's bad. Ide's still out there running. Yeah, that's going to be a slowdown. No surprise. But yeah, Alonso then. That is huge for the World Championship. Out of the Grand Prix. As we're going to be under pressure now from Montero because of that slowdown. We should be able to pull away from him again, though. Oh, we got oil. We got oil down again. No idea who that is dropping to the wayside then, as we'll just about get around that oil. I think that's Ralf Schumacher. So Toyota then out of the GP.
No, sorry, my mistake. Sector 3, repeat. Sector 3. He's on the middle through there. Don't overtake until you've seen the green flag.
I love the fact in this game, like, it's those little things like the engineers making mistakes and stuff is so cool. I think our best result, though, this year was P13 a few races ago. I can't remember where it was now off the top of my head. So we're taking nearly a second a lap out of Webber and speed. So if we could get the pair of them by the end, that would be great news. Well, I've just heard the worst news possible inside this game. Jacques Villeneuve is up inside the top 8 at the moment and could be on for his first points finish of the year. I'm pretty certain the Red Bull of Cleon is trying to chase him down for that P8. But had we not gone into the back of Heidfeld, it could have been us running in that position if Heidfeld was still out of the Grand Prix. There's a lot of hypotheticals here, but into the 1 minute 24s, we've got more yellow flags. So I think that's one of the Williams that's broken down then. So I think that's Rosberg that might be out of the Grand Prix. It's just sliding over the oil. We are now up into P13 here. I want to get speed.
We need to finish today.
Yep, our engineer there with wise words. We're into the final few laps. That's always where I crash. Well, about to start the last lap then here from Monza, and ultimately, yeah, we just haven't quite had enough speed over Scott's speed, and especially into these last few laps, you really just start thinking about trying to bring it home. But Felipe Massa, it's been a very topsy-turvy season for him. He just hasn't usually had the pace against his teammate Michael Schumacher. But if you wanted to win one race for Ferrari, surely this would be the one that you'd want to claim victory. In towards the final few corners, though, he's done the team a great help this weekend, though, by keeping both of those Renaults behind. Through the final corner, Felipe Massa will win the Italian Grand Prix in front of Ferrari and turn himself into a fan favourite.
For the maximum 10 points and top spot on the podium. Montoya will finish in P2.
Great weekend by Juan Pablo Montoya, who really did seem to find some pace in that McLaren car that Kimi Räikkönen couldn't. But easily the most painful bit about this weekend is going to be Jacques Villeneuve scoring his first point of the year for the BMW Sauber team as well there. He's been completely outclassed by Nick Heidfeld over the course of the campaign. But getting a point there just makes our life a bit more difficult if we want to beat him by the end of the year. Through the final few corners, though, it looks like we are going to finish P13 here in the Temple of Speed as well. That's a pretty good race result, considering this is a circuit that we've often struggled at. Luckily, it's going to be another race finish as well, which is very, very important for us. Trying to prove ourselves to bigger and better teams. You know what? I'm pretty happy with that. Could have been a little bit better, but I don't think we would have had the pace for points.
Monza never fails to impress, and this season has been no exception. We've seen these V8 cars at full stretch here today, heading down the main straight and into the first chicane, and I can tell you, anyone who said that the V8s would be somehow slow compared with the V10s will quickly withdraw that comment. These are mightily impressive cars, and I think this season is just getting better and better. We must now sadly take an extended break due to the cancellation of the Belgian Grand Prix earlier this year. Join us again in October when we travel east to Shanghai, followed by Japan for the closing part of the season. See you then.
Well, neither Toyota making it to the checkered flag this weekend, a big disappointment for them, but the big shocker, Fernando Alonso out of the GP. That means Michael Schumacher now with one hand on that World Championship trophy. 30 points still available and a 12-point lead for the German. One DNF, though, could still change things by the end of the year there. Speed and Sato still with their points on the board ahead of Jacques Villeneuve. Now it's Mark Webber, Liuzzi, ourselves, Montero, Albers and Ide yet to score. We are now the top Midland car in the championship standings, so I guess that's good. Ferrari 29 points clear of Renault. McLaren re-jump BAR Honda as well. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon, ready for the Chinese Grand Prix.